Hi there, everybody. Miss Pastor here, and I'm here today to talk to you about goals. Goals are a very part of everyone's life. They help to organize us, they help us to focus on what we want to accomplish, and they allow us opportunities once we do accomplish them to celebrate those accomplishments and then continue growing. You all have goals. Everybody does. You don't even realize that you have them. They range from something as simple as getting to school on time in the morning and not being late, to completing a homework assignment, or doing well on a test, or doing well in your next game and scoring some points or not missing a tackle. Goals come in many shapes and forms. We're going to be talking about goals that have to do with life and planning and your future. So let's begin. The first thing you have to ask yourself when you're talking about goals is, what do you want to have in your life? Or, what do you want to achieve? Everybody has things that they would like in their future. For instance, a lot of you in your intro assignment talked about living in a nice house or even making a lot of money. Those things are really nice, but unless you make plans to do these things, and you set up an outline about how you're going to get there, a big house and a big salary doesn't come from nothing, and it won't come out of nowhere. It takes a lot of work. So let's talk about what goals are. There's a reason that you get up every day. It's a means to an end. Everybody needs a purpose. Without a purpose in life, there's no reason to even get out of bed. And this is why we all do, because there are things that we need to accomplish every single day in the big picture of our lives. So goals are a very important part of that life. And let's talk more deeply now about what they are. So what is a goal? A goal is something we want or something we aim for that takes planning and work. Just saying that you want that great job isn't going to make it happen. There's a lot that go into it. There's sometimes college. There's sometimes technical schools. There's usually some sort of testing and things that go along with it. There are steps that you have to follow to get to the goal that you're wanting to achieve. So why are goals so important? Well, there's actually three really big reasons why goals are important to every individual's life. First of all, it is the reason why we get up in the morning. It gives us a sense of purpose in our lives. We all have to have that sense of purpose. By working toward goals that are personally rewarding, we provide a direction for us to move with its destination, the completion of our goal. And that's what we all work towards. Goals can provide us with a sense of identity. Here's reason number 2. Lots of people have future goals. What if your goal was to be a professional athlete of some kind? What do you think you would be doing in high school? Would you not be playing sports? Of course you would be. And you might be playing more than one. So at that point, when you're in high school, people might identify you as an athlete in school. If you wanted to become a doctor or a lawyer or something that's very academically challenging, you're probably going to be striving for really big grades in school. And in school, you might also become known as the smart student in your school or the academically well-off student in your school. So goals can become a part of our identity. So it's important to note that whatever you're striving for, understand you're actually beginning to prepare for it now. Finally, number 3, having goals and then accomplishing them begins to increase a person's self-esteem and self-confidence. Think of the last thing that you said to yourself you wanted to do, and then you actually did it. How did it make you feel? I'm sure it made you feel very proud of yourself, as so it should. When you achieve something, that's a certain amount of success that everybody appreciates feeling. But right at that moment, when you've achieved that goal, life doesn't end, and then that allows you the opportunity to set new goals, but then you could take on bigger challenges and raise the bar, so to speak, for yourself and make the goals more difficult and therefore much more fulfilling. So what are goals again? There's two different kinds. One is a short-term goal, and this is a goal that you could reach in a relatively short amount of time. For instance, just completing a homework assignment is a good example of a short-term goal. Now, long-term goals are goals that you reach over a longer period of time. These oftentimes are accomplished through a series of short-term goals. For instance, if your goal was to graduate high school, there are a lot of things that go into the graduation process. For instance, making sure that you pass all of your classes in all 4 years of school and earning all the credits. And then if you break it down smaller, passing all of the classes in your freshman year of high school. And then you could break it down even smaller and just say, right now, today, this semester, I need to make sure I pass health. That is a requirement of graduation. So there are a series of short-term goals that oftentimes need to be fulfilled in the accomplishment of an overall long-term goal. So please keep that in mind. Now, once you've identified something that you want, you have to create a plan, a process to get you there. And that is an action plan, or a set of strategies to help identify and achieve your goals. This is a nice step-by-step process that helps to organize your thinking and help you achieve the goal that you want to accomplish. So there are 6 different steps that go into an action plan, and each one of them are very important to follow. Step number 1 is to set a specific and a realistic goal and then write it down. Writing a goal down makes things seem much more tangible. If you just speak things out in the air, then it becomes more of a fantasy and not really a goal that's attainable. If you write it down on a piece of paper, it can actually motivate you and make you want to accomplish that goal even more. So make sure you do that for yourself. The next step is to now begin the process of listing all the short-term goals it will take you to reach your long-term goal. And that kind of helps us not get overwhelmed by the magnitude or the size of the long-term goal that we've set for ourselves. So for instance, if your goal is to become a doctor one day, well, there's a lot of years of education in that process. And if you break that goal down into some smaller short-term goals and only handle those short-term goals one at a time, then it becomes less overwhelming of a process to be able to accomplish that long-term goal. Step 3 in the action plan of attaining a goal is to identify the sources of help and support. Please understand that sometimes we all need help, and that's okay to ask for it, because in achieving our goals, we need all the help that we can get. So make sure you identify all the sources of help that you have in your life, whether they're people, whether in your family, people at school, such as teachers, other friends at school that can help you with work. There's counselors that can provide you with all kinds of information. Once you decide if you're going to go to college, the sources of help are things like financial aid, student loans. There's all kinds of different types of help that are out there that will help us achieve our ultimate goal. Number 4, set a time frame. Make yourself accountable to achieving this goal. Circle something down on the calendar. Don't put that in the air and just say, I'm going to do this someday. Make it tangible. Circle a date. This way, you can see that date and say, this is the deadline that I set for myself to do this. And if the date's getting closer, then you really need to do something about it. The next step is to evaluate your progress. How's it going? How have you gotten along in your plans to reach your goal? If it seems like the date that you've set isn't going to be enough time for you to accomplish the goal that you're trying, and you really are trying, then it's okay to circle a new date and just say, I need a little bit more time. But still circle a date, make yourself accomplish it, and make yourself accountable to that date. Finally, step 6. Once you've achieved that goal, celebrate. Reward yourself. You do deserve it. You worked very hard in this process, and you should have a chance to have a little bit of fun and acknowledge the fact that you have successfully completed a goal that you have set for yourself. But remember, the next day when you get up, make sure you're setting some new goals so that you can continue growing in your life. So now here's your chance to share a goal with me. I want you to do a quick write. I would like you to send me an email, and in your email, I want you to think about one long-term goal that you have for down the road in the future, and also consider 3 short-term goals that will help you get to that long-term goal. In that email, I want you to tell me what that one-term goal is, and then go ahead and list for me the 3 short-term goals that you feel will help you get you there. So I can't wait to see your emails, and I'll be talking to you later. Thanks.